If you're deciding whether you want to grow your hair out, then this video is for you. If you're deciding whether you want to cut your hair and you're midway through growing your hair out, then this video is also for you. I'm going to be breaking down and I'm going to be going through all the reasons why you should grow your hair out. Reason number one, you're going to save a lot of money on haircuts. So I'm starting with the most basic reason first, but whilst it's the most basic, it may be one of the most noticeable ones. If I could ask you now just to cast your mind back, and if I could ask you to cast your mind back to the last time you got a fade, the last time you got a short back and sides, the last time you got a buzz cut, what you're probably going to realise is that you were spending a lot of money making frequent trips to the barbershop, frequent trips to wherever you go. And it may be £20, £30, $40, $50, maybe even more than that, depending on where you go. If you decide to grow your hair out, you are going to save a lot of money just from not going to the barbershop. And whilst you may get the urge to go to the barbershop whilst you're growing your hair out, whilst you may look at it and you may be desperate to go to the barber because you want to give it up, my advice would be don't. Sit, wait, enjoy the money that you're saving and enjoy the fact that you're not just hemorrhaging money year after year on getting your hair cut. Reason number two why you should grow your hair out. You're going to challenge conventional beauty standards. So my man Gerald commented on my last video that it was woke garbage. Well, Gerald, this bit of woke garbage goes out to you. When you look on TV, when you look online, when you look on your social media, wherever it may be, what you'll probably notice is that most guys have a similar, if not exactly the same haircut. And of course, there's going to be exceptions. In most TV shows, or generally somewhere where you look, there may be one or two other guys with long hair. But that is a very, very, very small proportion. When you decide to grow your hair out, you've got the opportunity to define your own identity. And you've got the opportunity to use your hair as a part of that. So maybe you decide to grow your hair long, grow your beard out, put on some muscle, and you decide that you want to look like a Viking. Maybe you decide that you want a more youthful, clean-shaven type appearance with like messy, surfer type hair. If your lifestyle and your job situation allows you to do that, you can absolutely do that. And you're going to find a real sense of freedom in doing that as you move away and you step away from what the general standard of beauty standard is for guys. Reason number three. I'm going to call this one the amplification effect. And this is something that Trav White, another men's long hair YouTuber, discussed several years ago. If you think about what long hair does, firstly, as I've said, it makes you stand out. But the other thing that it does is it draws attention to you, which then in turn means that the most aspects of how you look are then further amplified. This is something that I'm now starting to experience myself as my hair gets a little bit longer, especially now that it's in that kind of mid to long length. Like, look at this photo of me with short hair. I just look fucking regular and I just look fucking boring. I'm starting now to build up a little bit more character in the way that I look. And people are starting to notice that a little bit more. And of course, there's people that notice that in a negative way. But that power of just standing out a little bit more just means that people notice. And when we talk about the amplification effect, what we really mean is that if you take one guy and you put him next to another guy, or even if you take one guy and you put him in a room with a group of other guys, the guy with the long hair will stand out just because he looks different. And because he stands out and because he looks different, people pay more attention, then in turn amplifying his look. Next reason, and this one kind of builds on from that last reason, I guess I would say. Whenever you decide to do anything, one of the questions that I guess most guys get is, will it make me more attractive and will it help my dating life? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Even in 2025, there are plenty of people that do not like long hair on a man. However, what I can say to you in 2025, there are people that really like long hair on a man. So you're going to find that you'll probably lose some people who maybe found you attractive with short hair or medium hair, but you're going to gain a ton of people that find you more attractive because you've got long hair. And those people that find you more attractive because you've got long hair find you way more attractive because you are a niche. And you've always got to think about dating from a supply and demand perspective. And what I can safely tell you is that the amount of people that like guys with long hair massively outweighs the amount of guys that actually love long hair. So by having longer hair, you're really beginning to step out, stand out more, and become more of a niche, which then in turn will boost your dating life. Next reason why you should grow your hair out: delayed gratification. So maybe a little bit deeper when I talk about this one, but again, think about it, right? Most people in life have short attention spans. They've got fried dopamine receptors from all the brain rot content that they're watching on social media. When you decide to grow your hair out, you become comfortable with waiting for things to take a little bit longer. When you decide to grow your hair out, you resist the urge to cut your hair because you want to look better in the present. And that ability to step away from the present and step away from directly what's in front of you, and to step away from directly what you see in the mirror, is really, really powerful. And as you begin to go longer and longer without a haircut, and as your hair starts to grow longer, what you're going to find is you are really going to become more comfortable with delayed gratification. Now, for some of you, that may only apply to your hair growth. But for me personally, as my own reflection, what I particularly found when I had long hair the first time, I got really comfortable with waiting, and I actually started to enjoy waiting. And a big part of that was really getting comfortable and persisting with my long hair journey, as I had an end goal in mind which I knew was going to take a while to get to. And then the last reason, and I guess maybe this is a little bit more of a personal one again, but I think it's really important to say that growing your hair out helps you to become more and more comfortable not caring about what other people think. For most guys, it's a pretty similar pattern. For the first 3 months of their hair growth journey, it looks pretty good. And actually, in a lot of cases, a lot of guys actually tend to like their hair a bit longer, way more than they expect to. But there, generally speaking, comes a little bit of a tipping point where your hair goes from looking quite nice a little bit longer to looking kind of shit, to looking kind of unkempt, to looking kind of messy. And usually people will notice this, even at the length that my hair is now, which, as I've said, is kind of midway to long, mid-length, medium to long. People say to me, have you thought about a haircut? People say to me, when are you going to get a haircut? But actually, the more I hear it, the more comfortable I get not caring what people think. The more comfortable I get having slightly unkept hair some days, or the more comfortable I get just not looking as presented or as pristine as I maybe have done before. And this will definitely be the experience that most guys will get, because you'll hear it fairly frequently. People will say, get a haircut. People will say, your hair looks better shorter. But if you persist, you ride through that, and you get used to people saying that to you, you generally will not care at all what people think about your hair. And in so many cases, I'm speaking again from personal experience, that filters out into other aspects of your life, and you'll start to again care a little bit less what people think. So that's it. Those were my reasons why you should grow your hair out. And like I said at the start, if you're on the fence about growing your hair out, my advice would be fuck it, just do it. And if you're midway through growing your hair out and you're kind of on the fence and you're thinking maybe I do actually want to cut it, my advice would be don't, wait. And I hope the reasons I put out in this video really help give you a little bit of motivation to keep going or start your hair growth journey. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please can I ask you to click like and subscribe down below. And if you really liked it, then please check back for more content on men's mental health, men's style, men's fashion, and all the things that you and I can do together to become better men.